Hi YouTube, I'm here today to finally give you my Too Faced review. But first I want to say happy Valentine's Day. You like my little ring? I found that at Kohl's and hopefully my nails aren't too chipped now. Oh, a little chipped, but got my little Conad stamps on there, so kind of Valentine's festive. But I didn't want to wait any longer. I've been trying out the Too Faced Natural Eye Palette now for quite some time, and I feel like I can finally give it a thorough review. So this is what the palette looks like. Really basic packaging. Too Faced likes to do this thing where they show you this really pretty eye look, and it says Too Faced here. It's the Natural Eye Kit, and it says Natural Eyeshadow Collection. And then on the back, it says, how do I create a natural eye? And it's got a little information on creating a natural eye and why they made this palette. And then it also talks about the creator of Too Faced. You can see his little picture there. He's got something on his face on my shadow palette, but that's alright. So it looks like this, and kind of thick. That's one thing that I'm not crazy about on this palette, but it's still pretty compact. I would say maybe 4 by 5 inches. It's about the size of like a flashcard or an index card. Maybe a little bit smaller. But the way you open it, there's like a little, you can hopefully see it, this little like ribbon tab. And that pops this open, and it's held on by a magnet, and this is pretty strong. And then the lid pops up like so, okay? So there's your lid. And then inside the lid, it says, pick a card and learn how to create the perfect natural eye. So we slide out all these cards, okay? And then there's 3 cards here. And it tells you how to get a classic eye, how to get a day eye, and how to get a fashion eye. And then also on the palette, those coordinate with the rows. So day, classic, and fashion. And then it just tells you like what colors you can use to achieve certain eye looks, but obviously that's just kind of like an idea. Obviously you don't have to do that, okay? Also, this palette has a little tiny drawer down here, and you can pull that out, and it comes with a little brush and sponge tip applicator. And this brush I did use for liner, and it's a fairly good brush. It's a fairly good brush, fairly stiff bristles. Not a big sponge tip applicator, but it's worth it to keep it in there for the brush. This would actually be great for doing your eyebrows if you needed to. Moving along to the colors, on the top row here, you're going to see 3 matte shades. This is just a cream matte, a really great transition color, and then a brown matte. The first one is called Heaven. This one is called Velvet Revolver, and it's a really velvety feeling shade, I have to say. And this one is called Sexpresso. I love that. Then in the center on the classic eye, we have Silk Teddy, which is kind of like a champagne pink. Then we have Push Up, which is kind of like a brown. It's got a little bit of bronze, a little bit of red undertones. It's a gorgeous color. Then over here we have Erotica, and this is kind of like a brown, but it's got a lot of gray in it, and it's also got a lot of glitter. It's very pretty. Then on the bottom, this color is insane. Okay, that color is called Nude Beach, and you can see it's got absolute ton of chunks of huge glitter. It's kind of like a peachy color again, but it's got so much shining glitter to it. Then we have Honey Pot, which is a really beautiful gold. It's a little bit more of like a bronzy gold, a little bit more of an orangey undertone. And then down here we have Cocoa Puff, which is a pretty like warm tone brown, and it's got some gold reflex glitter in it. Now I'm going to be swatching all of these colors, and I'm going to be telling you what I think of the pigmentation and the quality of them and what I would like to use them for. Okay, so here are the swatches. Starting up top, with the lightest colors and the matte colors in the day portion of the palette. This color right here is the cream. This is Heaven, and you're probably not going to see it too much. It's really close to my skin tone, so I really like that. It's not too thickly pigmented, but it does work really well for highlight. Next to it is Velvet Revolver, which is kind of a great transition color. Again, it's a matte, just kind of a medium brown. And then on the, then on the end down here we have S'Espresso, which is a beautiful, like, not too red, then right here we have S'Espresso, which is a beautiful brown. It's not got too much red in it. That's one of the reasons I really love that color. Very rich. Down on the next row here, this is probably my favorite color in the palette. This is Silk Teddy, and it's kind of just a peachy, shiny color. This is my favorite color for all over the lid. Absolutely hands down. I mix it sometimes with Heaven, this one on top and this one together for my inner corner, so it's not too shiny, but it's kind of got a peachy tint to it. Absolutely gorgeous. Then in the center here, we've got Push Up, which you can see is just another amazingly gorgeous color here. That color is phenomenal. On the end here, we have Erotica. Maybe if I get closer, yeah, now you can kind of see the glitter in Erotica. It's kind of a little bit lighter than the ones around it. It's got a little bit more gray undertone to it. And it's got lots of gold reflex glitter. On these colors really does stay pretty well. I mean, you will get a little fallout, but generally speaking, you can see a little of it once you blend them out. But it's not overly glittery. It's certainly considered classy in my opinion. This color on the bottom is not even a color in my opinion. It is a huge disappointment. That's the one called Nude Beach, and when I showed it to you in the palette form, it looked freaking gorgeous. Like, it looks so beautiful. Let me just flash you the palette here. Okay, how freaking cool does this color look? It looks beautiful, looks super metallic, super shiny, phenomenal, right? But unfortunately, as you can see, when I swatch it, all you get is some chunks of glitter. And for me, I don't really have any use for a sheer glitter shade. Like, that's pretty useless to me. And that's a big, unfortunate mistake on Too Faced's part, because that's a large chunk of your palette. That's one of the large shadows, and to me, that's an unusable shade. I would never use that. Moving along to something more positive, this gold is absolutely beautiful. That one's called Honey Pot, which it really is like a perfect like honey gold color. It's really metallic, really shiny, and just looks really classy and beautiful on the eyes. The last color down here is Cocoa Puff, and this is a reddish brown, and it kind of like the color next to it, it has a lot of like gold shimmer and glitter to it, but when you blend it out, you don't see that glitter quite as much. But it's just a really rich brown to have in the palette, and really kind of rounds the whole thing off. I love using these colors in my crease. This one's a great smoky eye color. Love putting all three of these shades as my all over lid color. I don't have any bias towards them, so I find that I get a lot of use over all of those. So overall, I really love this palette by Too Faced. I think it's an excellent palette. If you're going to travel somewhere, I mean, you've really got almost everything you need in here. There isn't a matte black, but I find that this color at the top here, S'Espresso, is just quite as dark as I need it, and I can really use that in replacement of matte black, and I don't really miss my matte black at all. I even use that like on my look today to go over my black eyeliner to, you know, to blot it on so that it doesn't smudge, and it really didn't make my eyeliner look any different. Let me close up for you. So I am wearing only colors and all colors from this palette today. And like I said, I went over my liner with that dark S'Espresso color, and I didn't have any problems with it. So overall, I definitely recommend you buy this palette. I got mine at Sephora, and I want to say it was around $35 or $38, which to me is pretty darn good considering the colors you get and the quality of these colors. With the exception of this huge mistake of a color down here, this waste of a chunky glitter color that is in the palette, I think all of these colors are fabulous. And for all the other colors, excluding this horrible one down here, I still think it's worth the price, in my opinion. That is my review on the Too Faced Natural Eye palette. I hope this was helpful to some of you who were thinking about buying this palette. I know they have a lot of these little box palettes out right now, and this was just the one that was most appealing to me. I've so far gotten a ton of use out of it. I find that you can really do a very neutral day look or really kind of jazz it up a little like I've done today. Get something that's a little bit more exciting, a little bit more fun. I just kind of wanted a romantic eye since it's Valentine's Day. But overall, I really think this is a great investment, and I highly recommend it. I really love Too Faced Cosmetics. I have never had a bad experience with them. And to me, I mean, it's great. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. If you have any questions, please don't forget to ask. And I will see you all in my next video. Happy Valentine's Day. Bye!